All right, let's take you now to Florida, where the state's governor is taking a stand against critical race theory in schools. Watch this.
So we want all our students to understand why was our country founded? What were some of the key ideas that made us different? I mean, for example, our founding fathers said that we are endowed by our Creator with unalienable rights. The rights do not come from government.
All right, that's Governor Ron DeSantis last week introducing a bill called the Stop Woke Act. The new proposal would allow parents to sue schools for teaching critical race theory, and the move comes after the Florida State Board of Education voted over the summer to ban lessons on the topic in the classroom. Joining us now is Florida State Representative Blaise Ingoglia. State Rep, thanks for coming back on today. Talk to me about DeSantis's plan. What's the goal here?
The goal here is to protect the lives of Floridians, their freedoms, and also stop the indoctrination of our kids in our schools. I applaud this governor for continuing not only with just the Stop Woke Act, but continuing just to stand up for people's freedoms in the state of Florida. He should be commended for it. How
do you see this playing out? With parents, the option for parents to actually sue schools for teaching CRT?
Yeah, there has to be some sort of chilling factor, because right now these schools are introducing CRT into the classroom through a lot of these training programs for teachers. But if there's nothing to get them to stop, they're just going to continue. So hopefully the threat of being sued will get them to stop. But look, I want to be clear on this. This problem is a lot worse than people think, because these school districts are spending tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on these CRT training materials, which means that you are sending your hard-earned tax dollars to the school district, and then the school district is turning around and spending your tax dollars on indoctrinating your kids. That's nonsensical, and it has to come to an end. And thank you, Governor DeSantis, for standing up for students and teachers who are doing the right thing.
So we've seen sort of this trend of parents speaking out about what's being taught in their children's classrooms, not only in Florida, but also most recently in Virginia. That received nationwide attention. And of course, we saw the gubernatorial race go to Youngkin, the Republican there. And so I'm wondering if this sort of legislation will spread to the country beyond just Florida. Have you heard from state reps, perhaps in other states, who are interested in it?
I personally have not, but if there's state reps, state senators, and people in the legislature listening to my voice right now, take a cue from Governor DeSantis, because he's doing the right thing. And look, a lot of this is evidenced by a record amount of parents sending their kids to charter schools, private schools, and homeschooling, because they're starting now to see firsthand the indoctrination of their students. And parents are fed up with this crap, pardon my French, this crap being introduced into their classroom and shoved down their children's throats.
Yeah. Race-based curriculum, parents have taken issue with, and then also just mask mandates in general, the possibility of vaccine mandates. That's got a lot of parents motivated to have their voices heard. I'd like to switch gears, though, and talk to you about something that's impacting the nation, and that, of course, is the surge in COVID cases linked to the Omicron variant. The president expected to speak this afternoon at 2:30 Eastern here. We're waiting to find out more about his plan. Preview indicates that he will mention more at-home testing and testing sites available. But also there's a need for possibly other treatment methods, including the monoclonal antibody treatment, which Florida has seen success with. I want to play you this soundbite. This is former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb, and he's talking about this treatment and maybe perhaps the need for more of it. Take a listen.
There's another drug, Lilly has a drug, and that's cleared 2 phase 2 studies that could be ready to be deployed as well. There's 300,000 doses sitting on pallets waiting to be forward deployed. It's pending regulatory review by the FDA. That's another one that we should be looking very hard at, trying to move that to the market more quickly. We have to get to a platform where we can update these monoclonal antibodies more quickly as new variants arise.
So he's sounding the alarm, saying we got to update these additional treatments here. DeSantis had brought these forward, again, even during Delta, as an option for Florida residents. Has anyone at the White House reached out to Florida government leaders to say, hey, we saw your success with monoclonal antibodies. We're interested in making that available to more people. What can we do to be successful?
I doubt that they have reached out to Governor DeSantis, because at every turn, this governor has done almost the opposite of what this White House has done, has been immensely successful. If you remember, they were chastising this governor for introducing monoclonal antibodies, even before the CDC actually recommended it on a wide scale. This governor is leading not just on Stop Woke, he's leading on monoclonal antibodies. But another point I want to bring up is that, if you remember, then President Trump stripped away a lot of regulations and made sure that the vaccines were on a fast track to get to the American people. There is no reason why this president can't do the same with these alternative treatments, with monoclonal antibodies, with the new antiviral drug that's in the pipeline right now. Strip away these regulations, get them to the American people, and stop scaring people with these ridiculous stories and these quotes from the White House. It's going to be interesting in a couple of months when we start seeing the data from Omicron. Is it going to match up with how this president is just demonizing people for not taking the vaccine, and how much what is the lethality and the virality of this virus? Because we've already know that epidemiologists and doctors in South Africa are sitting there wondering, why are we reacting this way? So it's going to be real interesting to know later just how bad this actually was, and whose response will be better, this president's or my governor's.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a warning of severe illness and death for the unvaccinated. That's the messaging coming out of the White House at this point.
He's going to destroy the economy just by his words. And, remember, we were supposed to declare the independence from the virus back in July.
July 4th. I know.
Nowhere near it. This president has failed again and again.
All right. We got to leave it at that. We'll wait and see what he has to say during the meeting today, during the press conference. Blaise Ingoglia, thanks so much for coming on today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Merry Christmas, everyone.
You too. Thanks.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.